organization. That all our patients, because God knew a time like this is coming, when such a law that remove insurance coverage for all people except the original people that were born in this country that it was designed for, and canceled all the waivers by this current administration. So I tell them, no, we are safe because God has made us safe. And I'm not saying that to add my own in there. It is a testimony that only God can do, because we didn't go out looking for who. Those that come walking, join. We didn't ask you where you come from. That's not what we do. That's hospitals don't operate that way. Everybody's welcome. But what is the testimony there? It happened that every patient that we have are descendant of the slaves or Caucasians and white folks. Period. So I say we are safe. We are not affected. God always make a way. That's what I want you to take from there. Not just that God punishes the wicked and evil also, but even in the punishment of the wicked and evil, he makes a way for his own. The question you will ask, are you one of his? Here, you see. Then the two men said to Lot, whom else have we here? No further. For he went out to speak, and they spoke to his sons-in-law, who were to marry his daughters, and said, oh, there were already sons-in-law that were to marry his daughter. So rather than now giving the daughters to the sons-in-law who were already there down, he was willing to give them up. Up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But he appeared to his sons-in-law to be jesting. They thought he was joking. When morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, up, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the punishment of the city. So sometimes people are in the city causing all kinds of trouble. And I've had people say, oh, Trump did this, do this. And I say, well, Trump, come to Baltimore City. Go to all these cities. Clean it up. Let's have some peace. There is always a punishment for wickedness and evil. So don't say that because, oh, you don't talk like a Christian, you are not a Christian. We should forgive. Yes, we should forgive. But remember, here, when they came, they aroused wickedness against, because they always want to show their power and their might, that they want evil and wickedness to continue, like you see in all these countries around the world. Nigeria is one of them. Find a way to make wickedness and evil thrive so that they can continue to exploit their own. And they rejoice and merry in iniquity. Like we had seen here, even in America. And force it upon the people of the world. Destroy every culture, the uniqueness of the people, destroy them. Americans will no longer be like Americans. British people or United Kingdom will no longer be Brits. Irish will no longer be Irish. Africa will no longer be Africa, and Africa is also a continent, not a state, a nation. Igbo will no longer be Igbos. And because they are Igbos, they must be punished and destroyed. Yorubas will no longer be Yorubas. They become one global village controlled by demons and evil spirits. Nations established by God will no longer be a nation. Let's bring them together to be at war. Is that the Spirit of the Lord that causes confusions in the amalgamations that we are made, agreement, a covenant with the devil, meant to steer and keep government of the devil in operations, so that those that they think, and they call it wealth creation, so that they can continue to reap and sit and marry and rejoice and plunder. They call it godly living. These are laid and cancelled and advised by the supposedly men of God, whether they are Islam or Jews or Christians. Is that a semblance of the God that we are describing in the holy books? Does that show any reverence and fear of God like these guys in Sodom? Where is that voice that rose up to say we cannot have those two men? Bring him to do worse to him. The rage and the anger we saw in this land and around the world against people of faith, Christians. Then you wonder whether God is alive. If God is God and God is just and fair, will he still be so if he let you win and succeed in what the oppressions you have against the innocents? To the point you didn't spare your own children. They call themselves father. And they call themselves human. Where is the humanity? We're mourning down. The angels urge the Lord, said, the punishment of the city. Verse 16. But he hesitated. So the man seized his hand and the hand of his wife and the hands of his two daughters for the